that proposal was ruined by Kenya. Girl, what are you doing? I couldn't even shop in Walmart discreetly in peace, okay? Because y'all know I switched over to Target. I don't shop at Walmart no more, but sometimes Target don't have everything I need. But anyway, I couldn't even shop in peace. Was missing the episode. My friend was telling me Kenya was around here ruining proposals. Hello, Kenya? Yes, can we talk about how out of line you were tonight? I don't want to hear it. I know you're upset that you didn't get the proposal that Cynthia got. Jealousy. You said jealousy? I know it's jealousy. You need to let them know. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kim Ray, and I'm back with your Real Housewives of Atlanta review, and you're watching Kim Ray Music TV. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe down below to my channel. Like this video. It is absolutely free to subscribe. Just so you guys know, as long as you got a Gmail email, just sign up for YouTube. Absolutely free. And then you can subscribe. I need subscribers, guys. All right. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kim Ray Music TV. I live tweet during the episode. I'll be live tweeting. Ooh, I might not live tweet tomorrow because we're going out of town for the holidays. But I usually live tweet during the shows that I review. And then follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, like the page, follow the podcast, hashtag JTFIO. Let's get into it. All right, so the episode is edited a little differently because based on the preview, we know that a proposal might be going down. So we're getting like this full lovey-dovey feeling. And you know, up until now, chill. Mike and Cynthia have really gotten on our nerves, okay? Cynthia has been very thirsty. Mike has actually been eating it up. Like, he likes it. He doesn't mind it. Which, you know, in most cases this would run a man off. So, you know, this is like their playful little thing. But she's been so thirsty and so, you know, giggly and all of this around Mike. That it's just like, okay, girl. But it just was really nice to see. So he kind of has this thing where he sits down with both sides of the family and he's asking for blessings. And I was like, do y'all still do this when you're on your third marriage? I mean, isn't it by like the third or second or third, fourth marriage, you just be like, listen, we're doing this. As long as the kids are in line, then we don't care what anyone else has to say. But maybe, hey, this is how you do it. I don't know. But Mike is trying to get the blessings, okay? And so Cynthia's still her same self, giddy, and doesn't really suspect. She knows that it's coming, but she doesn't know when it's coming, okay? I thought it was really sweet that he took all the daughters to go ring shopping. Mike just kind of gives me that like picture perfect type of guy. You know, he is like on TV, so he does know about image and production and all this type of stuff. So he kind of gives me that. We see Portia and Dennis, and they are celebrating Dennis's birthday with a nice little cake. And we see later that Portia is hungover. He's flirting with her, and I'm just a little less repulsed than I usually am. I don't know why. I guess I feel like giving Dennis a chance. Y'all know I just cannot stand that us as black women have to stay with these black men that cheat. And then I can't stand that the black men cheat in the first place. Like, what example are you leaving out there for black men that are out here not cheating, or black men that are out here coming up that need examples of black love? You're showing them that, you know, you're only good to your woman because you messed up and so you want to make up for it. Like, you know, that's just a whole conversation I'm not going to get into. So we get Cynthia and Marlo, and, you know, Cynthia wants to know who recorded her during this conversation. We all think it's Yavanna, who I've been spelling her name completely wrong. And and Cynthia wants to ask Marlo. So Marlo seems like a little bit emotional, surprised that she's even asking her. And I was like, I mean, Marlo, you can't really put it past you, okay? You have done some things for Nene. So I want to know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you think Yavanna was the one who recorded her? Do you think Marlo was the one who recorded? Because it wasn't nobody else. Do you think anybody recorded at all? Was it production that just dropped a bug in somebody's ear? I want to know. I also want to know what's going on with Cynthia's hair. Okay, it's been a couple episodes now where it's just like this big, reminds me of the synthetic wigs I used to wear. And they weren't bad, but you could definitely tell they were synthetic. And I don't have the money that Miss Bailey got, okay? So we're working up to this Bailey wine cellar event, which is an event space, and she's opening it up. And I just was sitting there thinking, like, Cynthia got all these businesses. Are we keeping up? Remember, she has the luggage, and then she has the wine. She has like the winery, I think. No, she don't have a winery, child. She has one place in the beginning that we saw where they sell wine, right? And then she has this place that's an event space. And then I think she had sunglasses, and then she had something else. She has lots of things on things on things. Okay? So we get into this conversation with Todd and Candy, where Todd is buying. Now, granted, he's not like the rappers where he's buying chains and cars and stuff. He's buying properties and things that can be flipped to make more money. Yes, very smart. But you know, Candy's issue is you're buying so many things. How much money are you putting into all these things at one time? What if there's a recession? We're just going to be wiped out. And I think she has valid concerns. Now, mind you, Candy's been rich all her life pretty much, okay? And the only way she's been able to sustain this wealth is because she has to have had some smarts, right? So for Todd, and I don't think it's a power struggle or you have less money. I think it's just that she's a little bit more experienced with this caliber of money, and maybe that's why she hasn't gone into so many businesses at one time. We know that Candy has the toy line. She goes on tour quite a bit. She flips all these different things. She has the old lady gang in all these different locations. Now Todd is talking about getting a breakfast spot. He's talking about Olay gang. Olay gang? Was it Olay gang or Olay G? I wrote it down. Olay gang. He wants to do a Mexican restaurant. He got this 18-wheeler truck. He's talking about going into trucking business. So Candy had an interesting point where she said, you know, remember the beginning of the relationship, a lot of the family thought that he just wanted to be with her for the money. And so she feels like Todd is maybe trying to do all these different things so that he can show, like, I have wealth too, like I want to contribute to this unit, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like you don't have to do all that you're doing. And Candy was also mentioning how, you know, they haven't really had time for Todd and Candy. It's just been all like business type of stuff. And I could totally feel her on it, because, you know, when you get in a relationship, you know, you have to give and take and compromise. And, you know, one may be scared of risk. The other one may want to take risk. And it's like, we work together to make this happen. But that doesn't mean that the fear goes away. I mean, you could do it and everything goes right, or you could do it and everything goes wrong, but we still learned something. We still did it together. So what do y'all think? Do you think Todd is like doing too much, or do you think he's like excited? Do you feel like he's on a roll, like he's hot now, like let's get all these ideas out? Do you think he should just finish up with one, let that go, then move on? I don't really know, because I'm not a business person, but I do feel like, you know, Candy has a point with this whole recession thing. Like, let's just tread lightly. Y'all have a lot going on. She's right. Y'all have a lot going on. Okay. All right. So Cynthia's opening. I thought usually with the other formats of the episodes, they leave the event for the end of the episode. They would have left us on a cliffhanger with the proposal, but maybe they didn't have enough content. Maybe they have so much content that they felt like they could have put it in the middle. I don't know. If I feel like Kenya's little part at the end with Mark, like the triple date, it kind of took away the fire and the attention off of Chill. But anyway, so let's get back into it. I don't like going step by step, but it's kind of helping me today. So Nene sends a card. So all the ladies are showing up. Marlo's there. She comes with the card and with the cheese and cracker trays. And Portia's a little shady about it. And I mean, I thought the card was nice. There was not an apology in the card. Cynthia looked like she wanted to get emotional. And while it was a nice gesture, I was just like, I don't don't know how I would have felt, because I'm a person that don't like to harbor on stuff for too long, and you know, I just kind of be like, whatever it's gonna be, you know, and I like to save face. But if you sat at that reunion and said the things that you said, it wasn't like we just had a disagreement and you didn't disparage me or talk down on me or demean me or drag my name through the mud. It's not like that. You said lots of things about my character, about me as a person. So when you do stuff like that, I mean, you have to apologize. You just have to apologize. You're just gonna have to, Nene. Like, you tried to send this card, and it was a nice card. I mean, bejeweled, bedazzled out. But you tried to send this card and these cheese and crackers, just like Portia said, y'all got more to talk about. So it's like you tried to send this card in place of an apology, but you owe an apology because you, like, tore down this woman's name. And she ain't did nothing to you. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that where it's at. Okay, so Candy texts Kenya, you know, while the event's going on. Candy looks good in her yellow. She texts Kenya, hey, where are you at? You might want to get here because I think Mike is going to propose. Now, the reason she said that is because Mike looks to her and Todd and says, hey, y'all stick around. Don't leave. So for me, it's like, you know for sure he's probably going to propose. So Candy did what most of us would do. You know, you might want to get here so you don't ruin the moment, okay? I remember when I got a phone call or a text to be at someone's proposal, and I had something else that I had to be at. But I knew if I would have did that first and then came in later, I would have ruined the proposal because there would have been no other reason for me to be there other than a proposal must be happening. So I just made a decision not to go. Okay, so this friend is trying to make sure you're going to be there. And when you get there, you see Cynthia and you say, I have a feeling that he gonna propose. Candy was so mad. And I want to thank Candy. You know why? Because I was like, Candy, you were, usually she'd be kind of like tight, like clenching her teeth and just be like, why would you do that? Like, she don't really be getting to, but she was really genuinely pissed. And so was I, okay? Because you don't ruin no woman's moment like that. You don't ruin no woman's moment like that. And then it's like, for what? Why did you? There was literally no reason and no way she could say, oh, I didn't know. Because Candy texts you saying, I think this is going to happen. So why would you walk up saying that? It's almost like you were jealous of her moment. And the rest of this episode just kind of showed me that, down to the triple date where she's trying to plan Cynthia's wedding. It's just like, because you didn't get it the way that you wanted to get it, now you want to step in and try to take over this woman's stuff when you didn't have to sneak off and get married the way that you did. You could have had it publicly, but the man that you chose didn't want to do it that way. So maybe that should have let you know, I don't know if I want to do this because this man is not he's not fulfilling my needs or my wants. Okay, we're not on the same page. I don't know, but getting back to the party. So, you know, Cynthia is a good sport. She kind of is just like, no, and they kind of try to change the subject. Candy got to go outside to calm down and talk to Todd because Kenya, you were just out of line. There's no explanation. I wonder if she tweeted. I wonder if she tweeted anything. Let me see. Child. I wonder if she tweeted it. Sorry, I just got distracted with my text messages. I wonder if she tweeted anything about it. Uh-oh. I seen something, but it just ran away. Let me see. Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore hair care. I don't even see no. Oh, that's not who we're looking for. Kenya Moore. This is taking up too much time. And she probably didn't tweet anything because I would have seen it. Does she have a? Oh yeah, she does. Kenya Moore. Why isn't her daughter on her on her Twitter wallpaper. That's so weird. Okay, let's see. Tonight in all new RHOA, the future Mrs. Hill gets engaged. No one is happier for her than me. A lot of pettiness happens between us this season, but no one can come between us. My number one from day. Girl. Let me see what she posted. A picture of them together. Yeah, this is what she posted, y'all. I can't tell. Yeah, okay. Mm-mm. 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 Okay. Anyway, so Kenya ruined the surprise, but you know, Cynthia played along. Okay, so I got so emotional at this proposal. Now I understand we done seen her get married a couple times, or at least one time, and they are a little older, but it was just so sweet. Sorry, I had to burp. Excuse me. It was so sweet. He had teamed up with the daughters. He had this heart, and it had Cynthia and Noelle on one side, Mike and his two daughters' names on the other side, and it had this little thing through, and they both were standing on each side to put them together behind the ring to say, will you marry me? And he did this thing where he was like, I want to propose, and everybody's like and it was just a toast, and I was just like, oh my. It was just so sweet. Like, when you think about, like, I was talking to my best friend about this yesterday. It don't even have to be expensive, even though that was a ring, okay? It don't even have to be expensive. It just be about like your creativity, like the fact of, are you able to do something grand with something very small, with small resources? Can you get creative when you don't have? Okay, but that's besides the point. Mike Hill's proposal, it just had us all just like, oh my gosh. Like, we all was just hanging on. I know Cynthia was overwhelmed because it was just like, is this really happening? You know, the wig was even holding on, okay? It was moving. It was moving. I don't know what's going on with the hair. But I just, and you know, I was mad because Bravo took away the moment when they did this flashback of, you know, all the turmoil that Cynthia experienced with Peter. It just was like, why was that needed? I know Candy said what she said, but we could have just not had that in there. Like, let this woman enjoy her special moment. Obviously, she didn't see it then, but she saw it now. Okay, and it's no secret, but still. All right, but they are officially engaged, and I just thought it was just, it just was the greatest thing. Family started popping up throughout the night, and all the girls were there, and all the girls looked great, and I'm so happy for Cynthia and Mike. Okay, so after that, we're kind of like in this whole glowy feel, and we get this triple date with Kenya and Mark, Todd and Candy, and Chill, right? So this is the first time we see Mark and Kenya, and first I was like, oh, they're having pleasant conversation in this car. They look nice. Kenya looked good in her white hair was done. And they're kind of joking in the car, but then it just turned into like this little back and forth, and I just was like, oh, it's just not good. So they do this wife swap thing that they have done before. I don't really understand it, but they do this wife swap thing where the ladies switch places, the guys are sitting across. So you got Mark and I think it was Mark and Cynthia. Oh, it could have it don't matter. It don't matter. It most likely was Mark and Cynthia, because then it was Mark and Candy, then Cynthia and Todd, then Kenya and Mike. Okay, but throughout the entire dinner, it's conversation going on of petty. There's prenup talk. We get the flashback with Todd with that. There is talk about Nene and how Mark feels like Nene is such a nice woman, and I was just like, you know, Mark, for you to have been married before, how are you not understanding that you need to be on your wife's side, at least in the public eye? I was just floored. Like, regardless of if Nene is a saint, you and your wife and her are not on the best of terms, and you already been saying stuff to just publicly disagree with your wife. Like, and you see her, do you not know body language? You see her physically, physically uncomfortable, and you just keep going. And that's what Candy kept saying, like, did you not see your wife? And, so Mike tries to step in and say, if my wife has an issue, I don't have an issue with Nene either, because she was nice to me as well. But as soon as you start doing stuff to my wife or fiance or girlfriend, I'm for her. I care about how she feels. And it's so refreshing when you get around a man that can express himself like that, because then you just be looking at your man like, and why you ain't say that? And that's how Kenya was looking at Mark. Like, she had this toast and it was just the shadiest. I mean, it was nice, but it was still shady, because there go her man sitting there not supporting his wife, not being a teammate. We talking about proposals. It just reminded me of Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married, when we got to the last couple, the one that cheated and stuff. I'm thinking about the play that Demetria McKinney, she played the new girl, Trina, I guess. And she was like, how did you propose? And she was like, in the parking lot of McDonald's. It reminded me of that. Okay. We all have proposal stories. Some of us nowadays, we're not even getting proposed to. Some of us have full out elaborate proposals. My proposal was a little sad, child. It was so much going on. I was first crying because of stress and hurt and pain, and then my tears went to tears of joy, and then my tears went back to stress, hurt, and pain, because it was like I couldn't even really be happy. So, I mean, a proposal is a proposal, but apparently Mark didn't really propose like Kenya really wanted it to be. And then, she's talking about the most happiest days of her life. And she says when she became Miss America and when she got married. And it wasn't when she had a baby. And I just was like, they got some things to work on. They do. I don't know. When Mark got so pent up about this prenup, I was like, oh, well, maybe he really does like Kenya, like he really want to be in this. But then it's like, why are you so mean to her? Because you really, you don't have to be. You just don't have to be. Okay, so that was this week's episode. It looks like next week, or when the girls go to Canada, I see an altercation ensue with Kenya and Nene, and hands was being thrown. I said, oh, now we are much too old for this. Now I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to be loving it. But I just was like, bruh, do we hate each other this much? Anyway, you guys chime in down below on what you thought about this week's episode. I'm Cameray. This is Cameray Music TV, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!